Afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Let me take these hearing aids out because it sounds a bit too loud. Hopefully, you can all see and hear me. Can you all see and hear me? You wonderful people, give me a 5x5 if you can see me. Let me just adjust my seat slightly. In fact, I might even take my shoes off because they've started playing up. It's nice, isn't it, having a studio in your front room? You just take your shoes off, put your feet up, and say, well, there you go. Give me a 5x5 if you can all see and hear me. This camera may switch off. I may have to reset again, but hopefully it's going to be running at the moment. Crown Jewels Music Group. How you doing, son? I ain't seen you for ages. Where you been? Good evening, DD 5x5. Don't forget, sharing is caring. We want as many people on Rumble as we can because they're going to take down my YouTube channel. They always do, right? So if you are over there, then come over here. For some strange reason, what I don't want to do is start losing audience on Rumble for YouTube, right? People on YouTube don't understand what is going on and what will go on, and YouTube is massively part of the deep state, the same as Facebook is. So all I'm doing is advising people. Don't forget to hit a proper light. Devon is heaven. Devon is heaven. I tell you, I've been driving around today, and I haven't even. There's certain areas I'm gonna have to speak to some Devononians down here and find out some other really nice places to go. What's a 5x5? A 5x5 means you can see and hear me. Is the basic answer. You can see and hear me. So 5, in other words, you get a 5 for audio and 5 for vision. I'm always there, listening to you, watching Manu. Right, let me have a quick look. So hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Really important that we get the likes in. More people that put the thumbs up or the like button on Rumble, the better. And then I'm going to talk about a few things going on at the moment, right? Stick with us, kid. Right. Hey, listen. I'm trying to find a place local to me. It's called Yokel, right? And evidently they do eggs, but the eggs that they can't supply the supermarkets are the double yolkers, and they supply them basically to the locals. I haven't found it yet. So if anyone knows where that place is, let me know. It's called Yokel, and they've got like a little place in there you can buy stuff. I went to see the butcher in the pub last night and bought all my meat for the week, which should be lovely. And I'll be having that as we trek through. Let me have a quick look and see if anyone's there. So I just went round and said, hello to my twin sister, who is literally staying 5 minutes down the road. And they're going back to the smoke tomorrow, to London tomorrow. It was funny because the cottage they're in, which is her sister-in-law, I pulled up round the front, and instead of going through the front door, and I got barn, they've got it's really old place, right? They've got all the like barn, like stable door things. But I went round the back and let me myself in via the back gate, and they was like, "Oh, Graham." I said, "Weird, isn't it?" And I just pop in. I'm only 5 minutes down the road, and they was laughing. And I had scones with real butter or real cream and strawberries on it. It was lovely. Sue Ellen, good evening. And I am feeling a bit tired today because I've been driving about doing a number of different things. Watching yesterday's today. We'll watch up here later. No worries. So, let's get on to the subject matter. And the subject matter is that Tommy Robinson and others have all been calling for Rupert Lowe to join Advance UK. And I am pleased so far that he's holding out. I prefer the movement, and anyone should understand what we've done as well. We've got a political party, but we've also got the English Constitution Society, which is not political; it's a movement, right? And the movement is really important because you can create pressure for political parties. Our meaning the English Constitution Party, which we did offer to Rupert Lowe, if he's talking about England, he's showing the English flag, and you've got various different people, Elon Musk presenting the English flag out there. So the movement is growing. What you don't want to do is get involved with someone like Ben Habib or Tommy Robinson that only mention the word English or England if it's to their immediate advantage. Nigel Farage has made himself pretty clear. He won't put out an English flag, and he did. Someone sent me a clip. He did mention the English Bill of Rights. He did mention the common law. This is Nigel Farage. Less than a sentence in a whole speech, right? What these people are doing is drawing in the English yet again. I represent and we represent the English, working class English. We are not etho-nationalists in terms of I believe that if you've been here a few generations and you speak like me, you are cultured in the same way as the English. You are Christian. I believe that you are English. You're not indigenous English, but you are English because you're culturally English. Ben Habib has already made the declaration that he is British. He is not English, and has no regard for it. So if Rupert Lowe currently, I see what he's doing in the background, and I've got more confidence in him because he is staying away from them. Advance UK, again, I sent emails to them about their college, never even come back to me. They're not interested, and the people that they're bringing into their college know nothing about the English Constitution. Certainly, any that state that they do have been British trained or are British solicitors or British barristers, and they're certainly not seeing what I describe as the real legal history of England. So I would be very wary of anyone like Ben Habib. I think, as I've said to many people in the past, Zionism and Bolsheviks are opposite sides of the same Talmudic coin, right? That's very similar to what Reform and Advance UK are, right? They're opposite sides, but the same ruling class of the unionist coin. Not interested whatsoever. And again, people need to understand that the British Nationality Act 1948 and 1981 is, in particular, needs to be made null and void. I don't trust anyone that starts to talk about the law and changing laws, etc., that doesn't know the difference between repeal and abolish. Abolish is the same terminology as make void, right? That means any decisions, stare decisis, precedents that were set in a common law against a statute is also null and void with that statute if it has been made null and void or abolished. If you repeal, it doesn't do that. And that's what got us into this problem in the first place with the European Communities Act of 1972, because everyone kept talking about repeal, 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 and it left all the previous decisions intact. It should have been abolished, and the reason why it should have been abolished was any authority under it is abolished, and anything stare decisis precedence was set under that previously was also abolished, right? And people need to understand that there is a major difference. Ben Habib, in particular, is a British Pakistani. He's going to have more sway with British Pakistani solicitors and lawyers, barristers. They are university trained. The slow march through the institutions has already got hold of them. The difference with people like me is I am self-taught over a very long period of time. It's a bit like reading the Bible and then going to a particular type of church, and the vicar who has been trained by the Church of England will interpret the Bible in the way that they tell him to interpret it. Whereas if you are a lay preacher, you read the Bible yourself and speak to the people for what your interpretation is. Even better than that, you all should be reading the law yourself and making your own, the original laws, right? And understanding it. So there are some conversations that I've been having today which have been quite interesting. But the main thing is, hopefully, I'll be talking to some farmers in Devon shortly, and we're going to start livening up what people think. So the fly in the soup. So really, the show tonight is to say to those people that are thinking, listening to their bullshit, stand firm, stand back, and just observe. Like I said, they never contacted me. I sent them 3 emails with reference to their college. They weren't interested. They're not interested in the English, right? They're only interested in the union. You are seeing more and more. I don't know if you've seen any details. Financial Times and the British press are really laying into Trump at the moment because he fired. That means sacked. One of the people on the board of the Federal Reserve because she committed fraud. And he was saying, I, as the president, have the right to sack you because the Federal Reserve is not, it's just a function of the federal government, as everyone keeps telling us. And therefore, as the president, I have the right to sack you. And he's got the evidence to say that she signed 2 mortgage applications, and both applications in separate parts of the United Independent States of America, stated that both the homes were principal residence. In other words, there's a difference with the interest rates and taxes, etc. If you've got a second home, so she put it down as a principal residence, which was an absolute lie. She's come back and started firing some stuff, but it's another one of them DEI hires. You can tell that straight away. The woman's why she's there, I don't know. Why she's at the head table in the Federal Reserve, I don't know. But what we do know is that Trump isn't messing around. National Guard, again, I've already spoke about in Washington, D.C. They're also bringing in military judges. So I don't know if people realise that they're bringing in military judges because the judges are corrupt. So everything. One of the things that you do need to understand about what's going on here, is that America is a common law jurisdiction. So everything they're doing there at the moment, they can replicate here. And I think they will. Whether we end up being a protectorate of America rather than the 51st state of America for a sunset period of 10 years, I don't know, until they've resolved the problem. And I believe they will. So I think there is something going on in the background, and there's a high potential that when President Trump comes over here is it September? When's Trump supposed to be coming over? President Trump's supposed to be coming over to see the King. Does everyone know? Anyone know when he's coming over? And he's spending 3 days at Windsor Castle. Anyone know when he's coming over? Jeffrey Bragg. Hi, Daddy Dragon. How are you doing? Jeffrey Bragg. But still, advance will not allow those English. What the fuck are they? So, just to make sure everyone's clear on this, Ben Habib has stated to join the party, you must be a British citizen, right? I'm not a British citizen. I am English. So he's barring anyone who believes they're English and are English. And he's also said that if you're a member of another political party, you cannot join. Right. Again, we don't have any of them bars on people. We're constitutionalists. So there is no freedom of speech. There is no freedom of expression. There's no freedom of assembly. Everything he's done with his policies goes against what the English believe in, and people are just sucking it up. And I don't trust Tommy Robinson as far as I can throw him, or Paul Thorpe, or any of them individuals, and that includes Liam Tufts. I don't trust any of them. They have been indoctrinated to believe they are British, and they are still attacking England. Tommy Robinson only used the English flag to get support, and then dumped us as soon as he possibly could, and he did. Right, just to make sure everyone's aware of that. America to the rescue! Oh. I do think there is something going on, and the deep state British imperial system, if you want to call it that, the financial system, the military system, all of it system, has now been or is currently being dismantled, and especially in the United States of America. God, woohoo, Freeman's verbal code. Hi, Juicy. Bovey, 17th of September, I believe. The 17th. That's a funny old date for you. Crown Jewels music. Let's have a look. Will Trump tell Charlie he's acting unconstitutionally? Something is going to happen. I know that, but I don't know exactly what at the moment. But I do believe what we've currently got going on is a colour revolution. And where the British have honed that skill all around the world, I believe individuals all around the world are now turning it on the British, and it's about time too. And remember, I am English, not British. You are, the majority of people watching are English, not British. And if you're not English, you're Scottish, Welsh, or Irish, or Cornish. So there's quite a bit going on in the background. Let me have a quick look there. They agree. We don't trust any of them as well. No, I don't trust any of them. If to be fair, I don't think I'm being too. I don't know what the word is. My conviction is only and solely for England, right? I've told people before, I'm not bitching about Scotland. I'm not bitching about Wales. I'm not bitching about Northern Ireland. I'm not bitching about Cornwall. I believe in self-determination. And the British treat all of us as colonies with centralisation, which is not a good thing. Duncan Smith, etc. Let's have a look there. Anyone got any questions for me? Bill of Rights 1688. The appeals court were weaponised. Duncan Smith. Taffy Pat. I'm Welsh, not British. My indigenous country is Wales. Full stop. Yeah, Taffy Pat. I totally agree. It's a brotherhood of nations. You don't need a political union. We've gone well past that, and people need to understand. Lou Becker, the British are behind the demonisation of Russia. Yeah, they are. And it was the British who originally attacked Russia and put the Soviet Union in place. And the prerequisite to all of this was the British Union. It's a not a playbook, a blueprint. And all they've done is they're replaying that all the time. They've done it in India. They caused problems in India with Pakistan, etc. That's another thing. Think about it logically. Ben Habib is a British Pakistani. Remove his British identity and he's a Pakistani because he's self-declared that that's what he is. He's not English, right? And remember that the Pakistani constitution and the law of Pakistan states that you are Pakistani by descent. It doesn't matter where you live in the world. You are Pakistani by descent. Lagarde has announced CBDC to start in October. Did you guys start the Raise the Colours campaign? I've always told people to raise the English flag as the answer. We also used to do flag swaps at our event. So we took a black bin liner. Anyone who turned up with a Union flag, we put it in a bin liner, and then we would give them an English flag. So I would have said more and more people are listening to the English arguments. Is it misguided English who state they are British? Here in Wales, no one says they are British. The Scots are the same, and certainly the Irish. Well, I've got a few. There's a few of that lot that say they're British, but again, they're in a major minority. What the British are terrified of is the English rising. Did you see today that Rees-Mogg sent out the Kipling poem where it says, when the English grumble, blah, 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 blah. I can't remember the actual. Let's see if I can actually find it on here and I'll read it out to you. Let me go and make sure I ain't got any. Who's got, so in the full English moderators, give me the Kipling poem and I'll read it out because that's what Rees-Mogg sent out today, and a few other people have sent it out as well. They are very much terrified of the English. 19th Phil Trump. Bill of Rights 6. DD Banana Man put a video up today. Sedition to Scotland. I don't know what that means. Oh. Oh, I'll have to have a look at that in a minute. All right, well, that ain't far from me, if that is the case. I'll have a look. Where did you find that? Have they got a... I'm not sure if they've got a... I don't think they've got a website, have they? That farmhouse place. See if they've got let's have a look. No, they haven't. Anyway, let me have a quick look. Jacobs Rees-Mogg. There it is. The Saxon is not like us Normans. His manners are not so polite. But he never means anything serious till he talks about justice and right. When he stands like an ox in the furrow, with his sullen eyes set eyes on your own, and grumbles, "This isn't fair dealing, my son," Leave the Saxon alone. There you go. So people are actually getting that. Let me see if I can go back onto that when I go back onto that. Let's see. So thank you for sending me that one out. Reese Mogg. Let's see if I can bring that up. What I don't like doing is switching the camera over. UK flag movement reflects opposition to the establishment and the belief the government isn't patriotic. I don't know if what I could do is try and show you this, but it might make my camera go a bit funny. It appears when I start sharing things on the camera, it goes pear-shaped on Rumble. But I'm going to play this and you can tell me if you can hear it.
Yes, I've always found that rather embarrassing. And I suppose it's because it's assumed that international television audiences won't know who you are, even you, Sir Jacob. But I think it would be nice if we thought that our governments were sufficiently recognisable not to have this symbol. Because I don't think that waving the flag is normally what we think of as part of our national culture.
No, I rather liked it when I was a schoolboy looking through Whitaker's Almanac, and it would list the days on which flags had to be flown, and they were quite obscure, actually. They were some religious circumstances, they were the birthdays of sometimes not very prominent members of the royal family, and if you saw a flag flying, you knew that something was up. And now every government building has them flying all the time. Does it lose its impact when it's flown the whole time?
It certainly does if it's flown all the time by government ministers, I think. But what we're seeing now, of course, is something rather different, indeed entirely different. Usually flying the flag is a sign that you're supporting the establishment, but now flying it, as we're seeing people all over the country do, is a sign that you're very annoyed with the establishment. And that, I think, is something that is really quite striking and to me very surprising. Not that people are annoyed, but they should pretty spontaneously have done this all across the country. And I think it is quite a momentous event.
Well, I absolutely agree with you, because it's showing that the country at large, the voters, feel that their government isn't patriotic. And I think they probably felt that about previous governments too, that they feel that we're not actually on their side. We're not on the side of the British people. We're on the side of the Human Rights Convention, and we're on the side of the Refugee Convention, but we're not on the side of the good people of West Hertfordshire.
Well, I think that's precisely what people do think. And for some years, as you say, government...
Let me just say this to everyone watching. They hate England. That's as simple as that. You could fly the Scottish flag, the Welsh flag, or Northern Irish flag anywhere, and no one will say a dickieberg. You throw up the English flag because they are terrified of the English rising. And all I've been saying to people is fly them flags, get them flags out there, and make it. That's why, police are saying we'll arrest you if you've got a flag on your car. But they didn't see them do it to Palestinians or the Pakistanis or any of them. I've seen loads of flags. I'm driving about. And this is a funny conversation I had last night. You'll like this one. Right? So the guy who owns the pub, went to me, what do you think about all this flying flags? I said, yeah, you should fly your flag. He said, I've got a Union flag down in the cellar. I said, well, if you put that up, I'll never come in here again. He went, what? I said, you got two pubs? He went, yeah. I said, you English? He went, yeah. I said, so fly the English flag. I went out to the car, got two flags out, come back in and said, there's your flags and there's our leaflets. And he went, oh, is that you? I said, yeah. I said, just fly the English flag. And then his wife said, yeah, people are just, all they ever do is try and play the race card. I said, right. I said, if they do that, you turn around. If someone says to you, you're racist, say, yeah, I am. I am. So what? Right? Shut them down. Don't try and persuade these people you're not racist. Just say, yeah, I am a racist. That's it. I'm a fucking racist. And, right? And all of a sudden they're like straight back at you. That's how you shut down lefties. Arrest me, so what? Nobody must be above the law of England and Wales. Whether a king or peasant, no matter what colour of your skin, traitors will be held to account. Taffy Pat, I absolutely agree. And what we've got to do is keep pushing that out. Let me have a look. They seem to be, just sent for a new Pendragon. It was getting a bit tatty. Well, the one I ordered it. I can't think where I ordered it from. Let me go and have a look and see where I ordered it from. If you want a real English flag, and there's a particular flag that flies and never it won't wear out. It's a proper flag made by flag makers, so it can be flown. Right. Currently, Tim's got one on the boat, which is the Whiffen, the original flag of England. Let's have a look. Question, Graham Moore. Old Man River, 123. Hi, Daddy Gwen. Can I pay at the door for the event at Leigh-on-Sea? Yeah, that's the answer. It is by ticket, but if you come along and you just print it out and just say you're gonna pay, I've got to go and check that. Let me just check while I'm talking to the geezer, because he was gonna ring me back. Let's see if it's in there. Let me have a quick look, because it's really important. No. He ain't come back to me, but yeah. Old Man River 123. Why are you in Essex? QQ. Don't forget, we need to be promoting these and try and get these in every single county of England, right? So I want to do one a month and get the people there and talk to them about England, tell them the difference between England and get out there. Let's have a look. Avoid the acts of union. Yeah. Seeing loads of different comments on here at the moment. Who's on there at the moment? Let's see if I can find it. There's England flags everywhere. Illegals are in the new now. 5 years too late. Where did 1 million flags come from? Same place as billions of COVID vaccines. Tax money. No, the people are going out and buying these flags. So I see a comment by someone. Who's this one? Oh, look at that. Emma Dunwell has just put a clip up of me. She's a lovely lady, she is. Let me share this one with you. I haven't heard this. It's a clip. It must have been me, because it's a clip of me. Right, let me have a look. There it is. I'll put it up on the screen. There it is. Emma Dunwell. You want to give her a follow if you can and say DD sent me, right? Let me see if I can I'll find this one. Copy link. I'll send that back to you in a couple of minutes. But here you go. What she said is, this book tells you that he should be purged from our system. Graham Moore, English Exit, explains how real English law, Keir Starmer, would be nowhere near number 10 in episode 3 of the Speak Freely podcast. And then you got full podcast premieres at 7:30 this Friday. So if you want to see me this Friday at 7:30 p.m, it'll be on there. But let me just show you this clip. Keir Starmer is a committed Marxist. This book tells you that he should be purged from our system, right? It actually says that. So, considering that he's a committed communist or Marxist, what is he doing in government, and what is he doing as Prime Minister? Right, so you've all got that one. Stop sharing. Let's go back to my main screen. I'll put that out there so everyone's got it. And say, Daddy Dragon sent me, right? There it is. Everyone's got that link. Where can I get an England flag made in England? They're all sold out. I don't know. I've got a few in my car. Let me have a quick look. DD out of the appeals court. Don't know what that one was. Juicy and Lucy, really like that? Wowsy. Yeah, and you need to get the red paint a roller and start going around. If you notice that they're going around trying to clean up the zebra crossings and all that, listen, they're terrified of the English. People need to be out there, right, painting the road with the just when I say the road, I mean where you see a patch of white or a roundabout, St George's Cross. Let me have a look. There's loads on eBay. Juicy and Lucy, love Emma. Can't wait to see your interview, DD. Well, it should be quite good. She asked me some questions and I answered the questions as I can. Let me have a look. Anyone else out there? There's loads on eBay, makeshift. Stafford Dron. Amazon have got English flags. People in Scotland paint the curbs. Yeah. Archonaut. How are you doing, son? Let's have a look and see who else is at our measurement. September. Bovey. I do hope the hinges on Traitor's Gate are well greased up because the gate will be very busy. Bovey, listen, I do believe. I know this. Listen, I absolutely believe that these traitors, say the top 10 traitors in this country, need to be hung, drawn and quartered and their bodies left out of Traitor's Gate, right? Because it is a warning. And this is not a normal event. When you attack our nation, and I speak of England, that's what's going to happen to you. And I know a couple of people out there that would actually do that, have already volunteered, will do it, right? So it can happen. Bill of Rights 1688, rest in peace, John. Who's John? Paint of the white shirt. eBay. 2 for 30. Let's have a look. Who's died? Why'd you say rest in peace, John? Anything with a white surface, stick a red cross on it. Yeah, no, exactly. Stafford Dron. Exactly right. I bought my flags from Lubega, absolutely. Stevens Norman, John Summers. Oh, right, John Summers. Let's have a look. June Gower. It isn't a government; it's a cartel. Exactly. And they're literally trying to destroy us. 1,000 Flags UK, based in Devon. Traitor's Gate will need an extension. I'm just reading out some of these comments. My uni van is white. I bought my flags. Let's have a look. How about 100 traitors for each year the English have suffered under the oppression, DD? Could be right. Pauline Cosgrove. Hey, I found you by accident. And what a sweet accident it was. I really want to learn about our English Constitution. Please give me the best place to start. The best place to start is Hamlin Lectures online. Someone said that they couldn't find them the other day. Hamlin Lectures, that's Exeter University. There is a link for it. You go back to pre-2005, and there's one just after that, which is the Common Law Constitution by Sir John Laws, who's one of our greatest judges. But pre-2005, there's loads of really, really good lectures. The first of the lectures from the Hamlin Trust was Freedom Under the Law by Tom Denning, or Lord Denning, as people knew him. One of our greatest law lords. And then there was Lord Devlin, juries, all of the information is on there, but it's just being explained to you in layman terms, right? By our greatest judges. So, and again, I've got all them books there. They're on that. I take them to the seminars and show people the books. We're English, Tracy. Greetings, Nigel Boncraft, Pauline Cosgrove, Hamlin Lectures, Steve now. Hi, El. Let's have a look and see who else is out there. So Juicy and Lucy have just put, there it is. And then you go on the pre-2005 lectures for the Hamlin Trust, and most of them are on there. And there's one or two, which is, one of them is the Common Law Constitution, the fundamentals of the Common Law Constitution's on there. Fantastic read, Sir William Wade. John was the original man that explained I was. Let's have a look. Some smart aleck has been using in a particular order on YouTube to raise the flag in comments. I don't know what that is. Don't forget to subscribe and share. No, don't forget to hit the share button. Andrew 108. I've been directing loads of people here in SM comments chats, well, social media chats. Well done. Let me have a quick look and see if there's anything else up there. Old going blah 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 eBay. Yeah, the one I got for the boat is about £80. It is specially made for constant flying in heavy winds, right? And it's got at the end of it, it's got a thing that goes down. It's like a strip they start, and it stops them fraying. Let me have a look. Where can I get a two-legged white dragon flag? You can get them by most places. Let me have a look at that one. That's a cheap one. It's £6.50. It's called the Wessex flag. Let me put that out there. But the one that I got for the boat is expensive. It's not a cheap flag. It was £80, but it will last, I don't know, 10 years. It's designed to be weatherproof. It's designed to be everything that you want it to be, right? Even having seawater in it. Let me have a quick look and see if I can push that out there. So the two-legged Whiffen flag is that one. That's the original flag of England. Put that one out there. Taffy Pat, yep. Even the Yanks used it for the basis of their, what's that, D-Day. What does that say? D-Day, you've likely got many people here first time. I've been sending people here all week, but they'll need to know more clearly what this site is. So just to make sure everyone understands what this site is, right? So the reason why I'm on Rumble is because I kept getting banned on YouTube, Facebook, and even Twitter, even last year. Every time I build my accounts up, they take them out. And it's the British censorship doing that. Anyone who understands Rumble understands that Rumble have told the British to foxtrot Oscar. What is this channel about? It's about the English, right? And that doesn't mean I'm having a pop at the Scots, the Welsh, the Irish, or the Cornish. We believe in self-determination. England used to be a confederacy during the 1600s and before, and the counties and shires were independent largely of Parliament, right? The British changed all that. And what we talk about is England, the common law, and the Constitution, right? So just to make sure you're aware of that. And there's another book which the lady sent to me, and I'm going to show it to you again. Common Sense, Rights of Man, and another essential writings of Thomas Paine, right? An Englishman from Thetford. There's lots of bit. Let me just show you this stuff as well. So all I'm doing, and then these books behind me, just to make sure you're aware of this, these are real books, right? So that one there, for example, is, can you see it or not? Halsbury's Laws of England. Again, so that's the common law. There's lots of them. There's over 50 in each set. Volume number 8, Constitutional Law, right? So anyone tells you we haven't got a written constitution, you can say to them, so why is it in law books? And then there's another one, which I will show you in a couple of minutes, if I can fit this one back into this wedge. The other one is on that side, volume number 10. So someone actually contacted me the other day and said, I thought that was a green screen. I said, no, it's not. And there's books everywhere here, right? So again, Halsbury's Statutes, yeah, 4th edition, volume 10, just to make sure you can see that, constitutional law. So you've got the statutes, and you've got the common law. So, and again, I'm going to show you this. So I've just been speaking to you about one element of this, and I want everyone to understand what it is. So the Hamlin, free of charge, you can get the PDFs of this, right? But there, hopefully you can see that, Hamlin Lectures, John Law's Common Law Constitution, right? That is a fantastic read. And I'm going to go back over there in a second, right? So here's another one. Sir William Wade. Do you remember what I said about Sir William Wade? Let me bring that up on the screen so you can get it there. Hamlin Lectures. So what you're getting is 3 PDFs of this, right? Constitutional Fundamentals. Sir William Wade. Sir William Wade was one of our greatest scholars on law, just as good as this guy. There's 3 volumes of this. These books are over, many of them, some of them here are hundreds of years old. But this particular book is the Law and Custom of the Constitution, Sir William R. Anson, in 3 volumes. And then as you talk through it, it goes through the various bits. Let me just go through here. And it tells you literally the difference in here. I talk about it all the time. People turn around to me and say that's not right because they're not taught this anymore, right? But again, in order to find a place of constitutional law, it is needless to go further than Dr. Holland's analysis and classification of rights. A right is a capacity residing in one man of controlling with the assent and assistance of the state the actions of another. Rights which may be enforced by one citizen against another constitute the body of private law. Rights which the state asserts itself against the citizens and the rights which permit it to be against itself constitute public law, right? So again, all of this information, everything that I teach people is very similar to the Hamlin Lectures, right? And the Hamlin Lectures was about lawyers who really did understand the Constitution, right? But the audience were lay people, and they explained the Constitution and the law. Anyone out there, free man of the land types, right? Before you start talking about juries, I would expect every single Hamlin Lectures again, right? Trial by jury by Lord Devlin. If you ever wanted an expert history on juries, this is the one to get, right? Free of charge online, and you'll know everything you ever wanted to know about juries, including the fact that the Magna Carta did not bring in juries as we know them today. That didn't happen until about 160 years later, right? What the Magna Carta did was stop what was known as trials by ordeal, right? That meant if they suspected you of stealing a loaf of bread and you said, I didn't do that, rather than go by the oath system, or the oath takers would say, I know this person, they would never steal, and you got found not guilty, basically. But the oaths meant something, right? So you would never get people swearing an oath in your favour and declaring you as an honest person if you wasn't, right? Because it went against God's teachings. But here's the kicker, and people need to understand this. Around the amount of time of the Magna Carta and before, if you wasn't brought before oath takers, which was a custom in some areas, you had something called trial by ordeal. And what they did was they boiled a vat of fat. So imagine boiling fat, and they stuck your hand in it up to there, right? And they pulled it out, and it seriously almost cooked your arm. It burnt you to pieces. And if it healed without infection, you was innocent. If you got a lethal infection, you was guilty, right? So what the Magna Carta did was stopped that. It stopped trial by ordeal, right? Which is different to trial of battle. Trial by ordeal. And then about 160 years later, they then, and again, so if you was in a jury in 1215, this is the bit that makes me laugh with a free man and landlord. If you come out with a wrong answer, they used to press you. They used to put blocks, big stones on your chest, and suffocate you. If you come out with a wrong answer, don't really want to go back to that, do you? So all I do is tell you the truth about the real history, and so I'm not a historian. I am a legal, if you want to call it that, constitutionalist historian. I try, and there's no such thing with 1100 years and more of law on England, right? And our leaflet is that, which is very, very similar to. Let me see if I can go and find the other one, and I bet I can't. Or is it that one? Right. So everyone should understand this. In America, where their constitution come from England, right? So we exported the English language, and you'll note that President Trump and the White House have just done 2 executive orders. The first was that the official language of the United States of America is English, right? And the second was that the Bill of Rights was written in English, right? So they're acknowledged that the Bill of Rights come from England, right? And the Constitution, the Second Amendment, comes from the English Bill of Rights. But in America, you swear allegiance to the Constitution and to the state, right? Meaning America. And then when you do that, you are given one of these little booklets, right? The Constitution of the United States of America. I got this from the Texas Project when I went out there and give a lecture in Texas. And then it goes all through the founding fathers, and it tells you Article 1, Article 2, and it tells you what the Constitution is, right? Now, they have what's known as a codified Constitution. We've got a common law Constitution, which doesn't mean it's not codified. Ours is codified. Certain elements of our Constitution are codified, right? But it's a common law Constitution. Now, what we do is give out this, which is this special leaflet, which is the equivalent of the American one, right? And it tells you, so if you have a look on the front of that, it will tell you, this is the English Constitution Party. We've also got the English Constitution Society, the English Constitution and English Bill of Rights, right? And it literally says, here to protect you. That's what we are, right? We don't so even though we are a registered political party, our manifesto is the English Constitution. And we had a big argument with the Electoral Commission because they weren't going to allow us to register English Constitution Party with the Constitution or our manifesto as constitutional rights. They didn't like that because people could vote for it. Right, and I nearly had to take them to the High Court over it. And then, so what you'll see is all of that, right? The biggest thing that you'll notice is that we stand up for disabled people and retirees. And then we set out all the English, not all of them. There's about 15 in total. But we've got as much as we can on that particular leaflet, right? And then it sets out the Constitution. That's who and what we are. So anti-coercion, pro-choice vaccinations. So we're not against vaccinations, even though I wouldn't have any form of vaccination now, and I didn't during COVID. No false promises, rights of the people, supporting pensioners' rights, obey the Constitution of England. And then when you actually look on the back, we tell you everything that we're about, and everyone who has anything to do with us all say, why don't more people know about you? It's because we're being oppressed and suppressed by the British. Have a look what they're doing at the moment, right? So as soon as you put an English flag up, what do you think they've been like with me? They've banned all of my channels, my Facebook, everything, because I just tell you the truth. It's not a difficult thing. But let me just read this out to you: supporting pensioners and disabled people, right? The English Constitution Party, the only party that supports and campaigns for a national living wage for pension for pensioners. Ageism is unlawful discrimination against people with no money to fight back. You may be older, but your vote is as powerful now as it was when you were 18. The power of your vote does not age or weaken with age. Your voice will be heard, right? Bearing in mind they steal our votes in elections, right, and give them to other people because they don't want people to know any of this. And by the way, there's an easy plan for making sure everyone's all right in retirement, right? The ECP will increase the state pension to $19,760 a year. That was in 2022, £380 a week. The government should raise the state pension to match the yearly equivalent of the national living wage, right? The national living wage is rising to £9.50 an hour. That's when it was in 2020. So at $19,760 a year for full time is 40 hours per week, which we are told is what you need to live on. Yet pensioners are expected to live on a state pension of £7,376 a year. The English Constitution Party respects your life's contribution to England and will not allow poverty for pensioners. There is a forgotten, nay, almost forbidden word, which means more to me than any other. That word is England. Winston Churchill. And just to so you all understand this, Winston Churchill stood in 1924 as an English constitutionalist. He condemned and walked away from the mainstream parties and condemned them for seeking to destroy the English constitution. He and 10 others all stood as English constitutionalists, and 6 won their seats. Why? Because the people of England knew we had a constitution, a powerful, everlasting constitution, and that protected the individual's rights over the state, right? So I just want to make sure you understand what I'm talking about. So anyone new to this channel will understand who and what we are, right? We're not the bad guys. To emphasize this, Ben Habib, for example, who describes himself as a British Pakistani, because he was not born of English parents, plural, right? He's under the English Constitution, the Act of Settlement 1701, he's not allowed to be an MP. In fact, you're not allowed to be police constable, a judge, House of Lords, or any position of profit or power. You're not allowed to be a mayor. You're not allowed to be a councillor. There is no position in this country that you are allowed to operate from if you have any authority over an Englishman or an English woman or our kids, right? If you are not born of English parents. If you are not born of English parents, right? So how do you initially go back to the Constitution? You would have to abolish, again, I've said it earlier on, you would have to abolish the British Nationality Act of 1948 and 1981. It's the very reason, that act is the very reason that all these foreigners are in positions of power, including Sadiq Khan, mayors all over England, etc. Tommy Robinson has never mentioned any of this, right? Ben Habib has never mentioned any of this. I talk about it all the time. And hopefully Rupert Lowe will say, I'll tell you what, that goes a long way to solve the problem, right? And again, the European Communities Act of 1972 should have been abolished because it was unlawful. It was against the Supremacy Clause of the English Bill of Rights. And again, the European Convention of Human Rights or the Human Rights Act of 1998 should all be abolished, right? So it's got nothing to do with England anymore. We would then take back control of everything, including we would be going back because we would have to our own militias and our own walled and watches all over the country, which is already happening, right? So that's what this channel is about, is telling you what you can do lawfully in England, and then we explain it in workers' terms. For anyone new here, we also do constitutional seminars where I come along for anywhere between 4 and 6 hours and then have a beer after or whatever. But I'll go through. So we've got massive banners that we put up on frames, and then I'll talk through the Constitution. I'll bring the books. But it isn't, I just want to make sure every seminar is slightly different. I never do scripted like these shows. If you speak to anyone out there now, they will tell you I never do a scripted show, right? Anyone can be a talking head, right? But what I do is go and I answer people's questions. And if I don't know the answer, I'll say I don't know the answer to that. But I could find the answer to it. But these, especially the British and the Unionists, they're the ones who are seeking to destroy England. Let me have a White Cat Lady Davis, English Constitution bars, please get inside advance and fight for England. They won't let me near them. White Cat Lady Davis, they will not let. Listen, I joined them, and the reason I joined them is because I wanted to make, as soon as I joined and announced that I joined, right, Ben Habib sent a thing out, you can't be a member of another party, let alone lead one, right? And you must be British. In other words, he's saying if you're a Welsh nationalist, I mean a real Welsh nationalist, that doesn't mean a socialist communist like you got there at the moment, right? If you're a real Welsh nationalist, Scottish nationalist, Irish, Northern Irish, because Northern Irish want independence as well, right? They've never been told that in Northern Ireland. There is another way, and that's independence, right? The Isle of Man is completely independent. It's a protectorate of England, right? And people need to understand that. English Saxon. No, I agree with you. He says, beep, Ben Habib and advance. They're British. That's right. And what we got to do is keep the pressure up. So I need as many people to come and follow me on English Exit on Twitter. They banned me last one when I got to about 10,000, and one before that at 15,000. Listen, if they left us alone, we'd have hundreds of thousands of people rising up with us now. That's why they kept banning me. And all I do is I tell you the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help me God, right? Anyone wondering what that is behind me? That's a bottle of Norfolk whiskey, single malt whiskey that won the award, the global award for the best single malt whiskey in the world. And it comes from the Norfolk distillery, which is called the English Distillery. And that is there. Tom bought me that, who's now sadly passed away. And here's another one, single malt whiskey, right, which I haven't had anything of, but I probably will steam into it at some stage. Dartmoor whiskey. And let me tell you something. This one is 46%. Dartmoor single malt whiskey, let me see if I can read this, is produced to our 1966 hand-beaten copper pot, still from Cognac in France. Our water and barley both come from within the Dartmoor National Park and produce a very sweet spirit, according to our master distiller, Frank Mahadi. I'd love to work there. Let's just say that. I'll say that. Can you imagine me working in a distillery? I'll be doing a show every night like that. What did you say? Anyway, any other questions? Anything going on that you need to convey to me? Because I'm grateful for everyone watching this Wednesday night. Looks like everyone's coming out and about. We've got, I believe, about 500 people in total on the different platforms watching. And all I'm doing is just trying to tell you what the truth is, right? Nothing else. So getting back, reform and advance are the opposite sides of the same union coin, right? That's what's caused all these problems. We need to be out. And the only way of doing that, and the only way of taking England back from the European Union, is to deconstruct their regions, which is crucially important. And no one's been talking about that, and they need to be, and especially Rupert Lowe. If you would like me to remind people, charge an email. Yeah. So again, we've got groups set up all over the country. We will be doing a big seminar for us to come together. I've just got to work out when, because we've also got the. I don't know how you want to play it, because as a political party, as a constitution society, we're a bit different. I mean, I could do it in Devon if you wanted to. I spoke to someone with a local, and there's loads of parking. It's not that close to a railway station, but I don't know how many people could get there. But that's in Devon. But they've got a big hall there and all that, and we could get everyone there. Bought my husband a bottle of English malt whiskey for his birthday party. For his birthday, he loves the English whiskey, also the Welsh whiskey too. He's a bit of a whiskey lover. Look, Taffy Pat. Oh, and talking about her husband. Oh, she's lovely, Taffy Pat. I met you, Taffy Pat, in London once, didn't I? If you're the one I'm thinking of, you had long dark hair. And did you have your son with you, who's acting as your minder? Let me have a look here. Jason Peter, really, the English Constitution is the substance that props up common law, Graham. Yeah. Juicy and Lucy have just open up my app. It will send you an email with a questionnaire on what we've done and what's planned. Let me have a quick look. I'm English, not British, looking to join. We'll do this as soon as possible. Well done. That's all you got to do. We got to keep this message going out there, because they're suppressing and oppressing us. If everyone sent an individual as individuals, if you all sent our emblem and who we are to Elon Musk and say, why don't you help these people? They have been oppressed by the British for years and years and years, right? And if you was all to say Elon Musk, don't forget, send it to the correct account, right? There's loads of fake accounts out there for Elon Musk. Let me go and see if I can find him. Hang on. Let me see. Someone is asking me whether I'm live at the moment. They can't find me. They've said, you need to do, they've asked me to give them social media lessons. Let me have a look. Let's see if I can send that message out to them. Let me have a quick look. And again, the only person who was saying this, and by the way, we said this a long time ago, and I took a bit of flack over it before anyone else was doing it. Let me just make sure I can show you this one. Rupert Lowe. Right, what's he saying there? Detain and deport. Right, But Rupert Lowe is saying you need to go right away back. And by the way, President Trump is also doing that. He is now looking at 55 million, just to make sure you get what I'm saying here. Over and above everything else, President Trump is looking at 55 million visa applications from past and present, right? And he has said if there is a single anomaly, any deviation from the truth on them documents, you will be ejected from the United States of America. Don't matter how well you've done, right? And just to make sure you're aware of this, right? He's already proved his point because he's turned around to one of the board members on the Federal Reserve and said, "You're sacked." Right? You have made a fraudulent claim on a mortgage, and you're in charge of the Federal Reserve, right? But bearing in mind, she only did that, right, because the tax rate on a second home is higher than it is on your principal home. So she's lied to get out of paying taxes when she's the one who sets the interest rate on the second homes, basically, right? So he sacked her. Recall you feel that Leon C. And do you remember they targeted him for some sort of mortgage fraud, and they put him on trial and all that, and he's just gone bang. She's under criminal investigation as well, by the way. Right, so they're going to take out all these lefties. They're going to say, "You did it to me. Now what we're going to do is apply the law. The Constitution is the solution." Bam 7. I recon your feel that Lee on C seminar DD, but meet to put in your event online. You will get 10 minutes spare when we can share it. I don't know what you mean by that. Let me just show you one other element. This isn't finished, but I'll show you the bit of paperwork. Hopefully it's online. Oh, here it is. Right, so I'll bring this up. Oh, not sure if this is going to proper work. This is what I'm going to show you, so everyone should be able to watch this online. Now, I need as many people to get sharing this as possible, right? So here it is. I brought it up on the screen, right? So the English Constitution Society, again, the English Constitution and Common Law Seminar. Discover the inalienable and constitutional rights. What are they? Why they matter, and how the state is working to take them away. Find out what you can do to protect your freedoms before it's too late. Everyone welcome. And it's 2 p.m. until 6:30 p.m. And then there's drinks because it's a private bar, restaurant with plenty of seating. It's got free toilets, etc. It's supposed to be in a superb position, and it's on a Sunday. So it's Sunday the 28th of September, 2025. Cath Hogar Del Mar, Unit 4, Clements Arcade, 9 to 11 the Broadway. So it's quite a large area. Leon C, Essex. £10 on the door, but really and truthfully, they're trying to get me the online ticketing system. So you can buy tickets online, which is is a better way of doing it. For tickets, email Kath Hogan Delmar at Gmail. It's all on there if you want to bring it up, right? Main speaker Graham Moore. In fact, the only speaker. I don't like sharing platforms, and the reason for that is I don't want people being distracted from our message, right? We've worked hard on what we're doing. We've got a massive following. We keep being taken down, and I get people from 15 years ago say, "I lost you. They took you down, and I found you again. I'm so happy," you don't realise the positive effect you have on people. An English constitutional expert, I don't regard myself as an expert, only because there's 1100 years of England and constitutional law, and there's much more prior to that as Anglo-Saxons. More than 30 years. A registered paralegal, which I am, founding member of the English Constitution Society, which I am, and there you've got the individual flags, right? So you've got the English flag, the Scottish flag, Northern Irish flag, the Welsh flag, the Cornish flag, and the Irish flag, right? Self-determination is the number one human right, which it is. So just to make sure you've got it on your screen, you can come back and check that. We've got to do some other little things. I think he's asked for a little bit of a change to it. I'm waiting for him to come back to me on that one. But there it is. Is that what you meant? Just show that on the screen. I can do it on your platform. Kelly, I can do it on your platform. Do what on your platform? I like those leaflets, DD. We're trying to keep to the same standard all the time, so people, when they see it come up, they just know that they go for the address, etc. Let me have a look. Even brighter, too woke. No, the guy uses someone else. I don't know who he uses, but he uses someone. Tracy, truism. Yeah. Cash is king. We must be in control of our own money. Are they? Does it matter? Let's have a look. Can create code, take money, print tickets, call people, make sure they're coming all automated. Someone will have to contact me with that one. But the guy who's setting it up uses a particular ticketing system, and he's going to give us the link. He's going to set it up and give us the link. John at large, yes, it does. And don't forget the bar on that venue is going to be open. I'm going to be staying in an hotel. All right, ladies, on my own, right? Because I am single. Well, I am at the moment. Let me just send you something else, right? So who's Kelly? English bottle cap. Should we have a high-profile court case televised in live streams? Same as the Us English Constitution Party. What's that? So, should we have a high-profile court case televised in live streams? Some you can ask, but they won't. John Dawson. Let me have a look at that one. Having listened to Daddy Dragon years ago, I now know we need an English Parliament. I joined Advance with suspicion and a free speech union with no suspicion. All I'm saying is be very careful. I'm not. So I want people to understand, if you join it, listen, they don't want me anywhere near them, right? That makes me highly suspicious. There couldn't be more. I'm not negative to Scotland, to Wales, to Northern Ireland, or to the Cornish, right? I'm positive about England. It's England first, right? And they don't like. They know, right, that the British Union and the British Nationality Act 1948, 1981, they know what acts. They know. I know what has caused the biggest problems. Already ahead, right? DD, what about USA goldbacks? Let me have a quick look. Ancient. I'll state them here. Only employ migrants. And anyone out in, does anyone live near, I think it's New Malden in Essex? There's an estate around there somewhere where they've got a monument. I did have photos of it because I worked around there. And I remember seeing a monument. I thought, what's that? And I went out to look at it, and it's to the militia. Just to make sure everyone's aware. Right, I felt it was a plan to mislead the enemy. Let me have a look. Too much lobbying by Jewish influence. You should be illegal. Briar 54. Listen, I don't disagree with you. Right, that is it. I am going to say good night because I don't want to sit here waffling all night. Good night, God bless. I hope you've enjoyed the show. When things happen, I'll bring them into the show. I've got to be a bit more careful with this camp. Don't know why, but it keeps knocking out. It hasn't done it tonight for some reason. I don't know the reason why, but it seems all right at the moment. There can be I have no pension to lose. Right, there you go. Right, I will see you tomorrow evening. 8 p.m. I'm sure I've got to do some. Oh yeah, I'm on a live tomorrow in Northern Ireland. I don't know what the channel is. I think it's a live. It might be recorded. But again, that was Little Jimmy that sorted that one out. You're the people that sort out this stuff, not me, right? Because I just sit here reading. Thanks, DD. Good night. God bless. Don't forget what I believe in. The Constitution. Who's that? M1990. I would warm your hotel bed for you. Who's M1990? Just send us an email, babe. And a picture. Should probably get a bedpan out. Let's have a look, Ban. Tracy. Bam. Tiddly poo. So don't forget what I believe in. The Constitution is the solution. And it certainly is. Let me have a look. Night. Juicy and Lucy. Anyone else? Nighty night, everyone. Day. Good night. Kim and Paul, I think it was. England won. Good night, all. Taffy Pat. Rest well, Sir Keck. Yeah, Sir Keck. My old muckers out there. Well done, son. Real truth, please. Let's have a look and see what's coming up on there. Kelly, Guna, K560, Guna Mum, Night DD, and all. God wins. God does win. Schmet 13, Night all. Paul Sefton. How you doing, son? I'm going to have to pop up there for a beer. Mark, 8B70, if you're watching. I'll be coming up there for a beer shortly. I'll have to get a train, though. Kelly, tickets. Let's have a look. Anyone else up there? Not sure which one I'm going for. Let's have a look. I'm trying to look for some of these messages. Let's have a look. And I am off. I'm just leaving you so you can all say goodbye to each other while I'm talking. Let's see. Right. Ready? See you later. Cockney Girl, West Ham United, Night all. Night DD, Patriots, Ancient English. Let's have a look and see where else is up there. That's it. Goodbye. See you tomorrow night. Bye-bye. Tiddly poo and all that. Let me hit my... What's happening with that? Don't forget, hit the English flags before you leave. Hang on, let me make sure I'll put it in there. Hit the English flags. Let everyone see the English flags on the screen. I'll have to put some black books behind that so everyone can see it. Oh, there you go. Hit the English flags. Show everyone who hasn't watched this what this is all about. Let's have a look. Let's have a look and see where I am now. Bye. Where's all the English flags? Come on, get the English flags up there.